The WIZ continues its march on the yellow brick road to Broadway. Since launching on a national tour, we've been featuring members of the creative team who are bringing the revival back to New York after all these years. And this time we're talking about the music. The WIZ features an incredible score. Here's Paul Wontorek chatting with music supervisor Joseph Joubert.
You have a great resume, but from what I can tell, this is the first time you've worked on the WIZ?
This is my first WIZ experience, and it's, wow, I go, when I'm at home orchestrating, I'm like, oh my God, am I really doing this?
You are.
So it's like, all right, so they handed me this job, so I've got to come with it. So you guys let me know.
This score is one of my favorites. I mean, these songs, it's just everything to me. Charles Smalls, the late composer of the WIZ, wrote incredible, iconic music. And Luther Vandross actually made a really interesting contribution to this.
Well, he wrote
score.
Everybody Rejoice.
Yeah, Everybody Rejoice, which is a great 11 o'clock showstopper in the score. How do you honor their work and make it specific to this production and these performers and this new energy? I mean, do you have to like sort of consider that?
I met Charlie years ago in the 80s at a recording session. I knew Luther Vandross, you know, Ashford and Simpson wrote something for the movie. So I mean, these are people, people that I know.
Right.
It's all about the artist. So Deborah Cox is our Glinda. So I know her voice. I work with Deborah. So I have to figure out, okay, what's her money note? What's a good key for her? What kind of, you know, chordal build up for her? Things like that. Our Eveline, Melody Betts, is out of this world. So we go gospel with No Bad News, which is everyone, even in the original, it was gospel, but this is a real like gospel thing. Mm-hmm. Our Scarecrow is just the vocal phenomenon. So again, we found that right key for him, get him, you know, his right beat, you know, for his numbers, you can't win. Our Dorothy Nichelle is just unbelievable. You know, she was just our last find. We just, you know, found her, and I was able to work with her and do some vocal coaching and just to get the right sounds. And we designed things for her. Obviously, we're paying homage to Charlie Smalls and, you know, and to the one Luther song. And then who our artists are in the show, and then making the music feel right for now and timeless.
There are big journeys to take with these songs. Is that exciting for you?
It is. So my arranging partner, Alan Renee Lewis, we got together in the spring. And we just said, okay, what are we gonna do with this song, what that song, what's the feel of this? And keeping it fresh and not like changing, you know, like crazy. If it's something gospel, we've gone with it. Things like Be a Lion, it's a gospel, or, you know, when you hear the original, if you hear the original, it's gospel. So we go there with it, and then I call it some revised chords that make it really feel right. Home, what do you do with home? I mean, it's got jazz chords in it if you really know music, you know, and so I've leaned into the fun part of some of the jazz chords for that. If You Believe is just like all these masterpieces. These songs are incredible. So again, each song has a different feeling, and if you've listened to the recordings, there have been many different versions, but they go there. It's just not like a simple thing. So we go in the direction that once you hear a song, you say, oh, that's what they're doing there. We haven't changed, you know, the music, but we've made it interesting for today and still palatable for, you know, the original. There's a new song, Wonder Why. It's not a new song, but it was not used in the original show. Stephanie Mills, I think, did it in the 1984 version. It's called Wonder, Wonder Why. Diana Ross recorded it, but didn't put it in the movie. So we shortened the song and just made it a short, concise arrangement. And Nichelle, when you can't hear her sing it without crying. I promise you, when you hear this song, the way it comes and how honest she sings it and she goes up in these high notes, it's gonna be an emotional moment because it's just this big uplift.
Shelly Williams, your fabulous director, talks a lot about sort of honoring the Black excellence of the creative team and the cast and the original creators and Charlie Smalls. Also, if you think about all of the young actresses who got their start singing Home, you know what I mean? This music is so important to so many careers and so many.
So for me, coming up, my first show, 1983, Amen Corner.
Yeah.
I was, it was an African-American cast, but not on the creative team. There was an African-American orchestrator, Dunn Pearson. So that was my intro. I said, oh, I'd love to be on the creative side one of these days. So I think for me, it's full circle to be able to be on, on this team so that, some young African-American, arranger will look at me one day and say, I can do this too. So I think it's for me, it's trying to set a really high example that I've saw, like I said, with Harold Wheeler, with Quincy Jones. I mean, so these were people that I looked up to. So for me, I want to be able to give back and let other young, budding musicians, actors, and see hopefully a high level of artistry that I can give to let them see, okay, this is something you can do and have that high level experience.